The Knicks just ended a 53-year title drought, and the first document on your desk wasn't the trophy paperwork. It was a lease running through 2055. You think you're buying the Knicks? You're buying the Garden Toll. The champion that just won everything pays $44 million a year to play on a court it does not own. Trophy. Tenant. Same desk. Parade up 7th Avenue. Invoice already filed. So before you light the cigar, follow the toll booth under the trophy. 29 more years of rent on a building you do not own. The trophy is yours for an afternoon. The lease page is yours until you are old. Here's the thing nobody puts on the championship banner. Winning the title did not make the Knicks cheaper to own. It made them more expensive. The payroll climbed. The luxury tax climbed. The revenue you owe the league climbed. And the garden toll, the cut the building takes on everything you sell inside it, never paused for the parade. So before you light the championship cigar, 3 things. Why the trophy is not the business, where the building quietly takes its cut on every dollar you earn. And who actually holds the votes when you, the billionaire owner, want to make a single decision. Because the Knicks won the trophy. Now follow the toll booth underneath it. The parade ends. The arena license opens. And here is where the buying starts. Start with the number that gets quoted at dinner parties. Before this title, the Knicks were valued at $9.85 billion. That's an estimate, not a sale. Nobody handed over a check. But it tells you the floor. To sit in that owner's chair, you're talking the most expensive franchise valuation in basketball. For comparison, look at what actually changed hands. The Lakers just sold a majority stake to Mark Walter at a $10 billion valuation. A real transaction, real money moving. And the Golden State Warriors carry an $11.33 billion valuation. But the Warriors' number comes with something the Knicks structure does not have. They control their own arena and the development around it. The Knicks don't. The Knicks pay to play in someone else's building. So your menu isn't really 3 prices. It's one question wearing a price tag. You can pay a Lakers-sized fortune, a Warriors-sized fortune, or a Knicks-sized fortune. In every case, you are buying the right to operate a basketball team inside a toll booth. And here is the part the brochure leaves out. The Warriors owner, at $11.33 billion, owns his stage. He keeps what the suites and the buffet and the merchandise counter bring in, and the development around the building too. You, at a Knicks-sized fortune, pay nearly as much, and the building keeps a slice of every premium dollar before you touch it. 2 owners, 2 10-figure checks. One owns the court, the other rents it. So the highest sticker price in the menu is not the richest seat. It's the most expensive tenancy in sports. And there are still 2 costs nobody puts in the brochure. The first one is the votes. The second one is the city. Let's talk about the votes, because this is where the billionaire fantasy meets the proxy card. You imagine that paying $10 billion makes you the boss. It does not. The ownership of MSG Sports runs on 2 classes of stock. There is the stock the public buys, and there is the Class B stock, where 1 share carries 10 votes. The public shares elect 1/4 of the board. The Class B shares elect the rest. So you can buy a mountain of regular shares, hold a championship banner over your head, and still watch the people holding the Class B paper decide the board. You arrived with a fortune. You got a minority of the votes and a great seat. Rings do not vote. Now the first bill arrives, and it doesn't care that you just won. The garden lease cost MSG Sports $44,052,000 in cash in fiscal 2025. Cash. That's the part that actually leaves the account. On top of that, there was another $23,566,000 in non-cash lease expense. That's the price of the borrowed court. It is the most famous arena in the world, and your team is a tenant in it, writing a rent check large enough to fund a small franchise on its own. Picture the loading dock at the Garden after a win. Your players walk out to the bus. Somewhere, a clerk is reconciling a lease page dated through 2055, a number you will be paying when the youngest player on tonight's roster has long retired. You won a title in June. The building sent the same invoice it would have sent if you had finished last. That is the Garden toll on the calendar. The championship changes the banner, never the bill. And the rent is just the entry fee. The toll comes later, on everything you sell. Here's where the real money lives, and it's not basketball, it's the toll. Walk through your own arena on game night. The luxury suites are full. The club buffet is packed. The merchandise counter has a line 40 deep buying championship jerseys. You're thinking, this is my building, my night, my money. It isn't. On the suite and club license revenue, the Knicks keep 35%. On food and beverage net profit, the team gets 50%. And on Garden merchandise, your jersey, your title, your name on the back, you pay a 30% commission to the building. Every premium dollar that walks through that arena gets split before you ever see it. That's the Garden toll, and it runs on champagne nights and losing nights alike. The better your team plays, the more those tills ring, and the more the building collects on the way through. So the seduction is real. The spotlight is guaranteed. The NBA's national media deals run 11 years, locked in through 2035 to 2036. That's over a decade of league television money arriving like clockwork, no matter what your local market does. A guaranteed national stage for the most famous team in the sport. Now, the bruise. Here's what the 11-year deal hides. In 2025, the Knicks' local media rights fees were cut by 28%. Cable repriced your glamour downward. The national check is fat and safe. The local check just shrank by more than a quarter. The spotlight stayed on. The money behind one of the lights got dimmer. And then there's the math underneath the trophy. In the third quarter of fiscal 2026, MSG Sports brought in $432.2 million in revenue. Operating income from all of that? $2 million. Direct operating expenses rose $38.2 million, a 12% jump. Team personnel compensation rose $18.8 million. League revenue sharing and luxury tax provisions rose another $15.4 million. $432.2 million in. $2 million of operating income out. The applause has a payroll, and the building keeps the toll. So why does anyone pay record prices for this? Because the smart money isn't buying the games, it's buying the scarcity. Look at what Mark Walter just did with the Lakers. A majority stake was approved at a $10 billion valuation. He did not pay that number because he expects to clear a fat operating profit next quarter. He paid it because there are 30 of these franchises on Earth, and the number of people who can write a $10 billion check keeps growing faster than the number of teams. That's the play. The professional buyer does not need the team to print cash this year. He needs to own one of 30 permanent licenses to the most valuable spectacle in American sport, ride the 11-year national media money, and sell to someone richer later. The operating income can be $2 million, and it does not matter, because the comparable just got reset. When the Lakers trade at $10 billion, every other trophy in the league quietly reprices. Walter does not buy the box score. He buys the comp. Trophies become comparables. That's the part the romance never tells you. And here's why a Walter can hold what a thinner owner can't. When third quarter income lands at $2 million, the buyer who borrowed to get in starts sweating the rent. The buyer with a $10 billion balance sheet shrugs and waits for the next comparable. A weak owner sells into a bad year. A patient one collects banners and lets the scarcity do the work. The toll empties the same accounts. It just doesn't frighten the same people. But here's where the champion learns the difference between status and control. Because the same title that lifts the comparable value also tightens the noose on the costs. Start with the building. The famous garden is not cleanly the team's asset. It's the landlord. You saw the split. 35% of suites, half the food profit, a 30% bite on your own merchandise. Every sale has a toll, and you do not get to renegotiate it on a parade route. The owner believed home games print cash. The building proved that home games print cash for the building first. Then there is the inventory problem, and this one is brutal in its plainness. In that same fiscal quarter of 2026, the Knicks played 5 fewer games at the Garden than the prior year. 5 fewer nights. That alone cut ticket-related revenue by $12.9 million. Not a recession. Not a scandal. Just 5 fewer dates on the calendar. The vibes were never higher. The team was a champion. But inventory beats vibes. You cannot sell a seat for a game you did not host. And then comes the cost of winning itself. The NBA second apron for 2025 to 2026 sits at $207.824 million. Cross that line, keeping your title team together, and the penalties stack in tax dollars and in roster restrictions. The better you are, the more you pay to stay that good. Winning does not fix the profit. Winning is the thing that crushes it. Now the last clause, the one that sits underneath all of it. You think Manhattan is permanent. It is not. In 2023, the Garden received a 5-year operating permit from the city. 5 years. Not forever. The right to operate the most famous arena in the world at that address renews on a clock the city council holds. Even the address expires. So a champion can gain status and lose control at the same time. The trophy went up. The lease, the splits, the apron, and the permit all stayed exactly where they were, holding the leash. Here is what a good year actually requires then. Not just winning. You need repeat contention, premium demand staying high, the national media lift arriving, and a full Garden calendar with every possible home date sold. When those line up, the toll is survivable because the premium surge outruns it. The suites fill, the buffet empties, the merchandise counter runs 40 deep, and for once the building's cut is small against what's left. A bad year doesn't need a collapse on the court. It just needs your payroll to cross into apron pain, the local cable money to stay weak, and that 5-year city clock to come back around. None of those require losing a single game. The bills remain whether you win or lose. The building gets paid first either way. That is the Garden toll, indifferent to the standings. And that's the mistake almost every buyer makes. You think you bought the New York Knicks. You bought a tenant's contract on the best stage in basketball, a borrowed court, a split till, a vote you don't fully hold, and an address that comes up for renewal. You can raise a banner to the rafters of that building. You still can't keep the toll from running underneath it. The Knicks won basketball. The Garden owns the receipts. The court says dynasty. The contract says tenant.